Thanks for joining us for a quiet evening at home.
How's everyone doing tonight?
We're doing good.
We are in an undisclosed location. We're hiding, hiding from the people.
We are. We have been pushed underground.
That's right.
Can't talk about it for legal reasons.
It's because October's over, isn't it?
Yeah. It's more like we're doing like a pirate broadcast. No, it's fine. We're just not there.
We're just not there. We're not in a studio tonight because the theater from which we typically broadcast was having a lot of power and internet issues today. So we thought it would be best to not be there without power.
Yeah.
Because we need power.
Yeah. We could like do some sort of like generated thing with like lightning, but there wasn't any lightning, and
yeah,
so we're here. But it's weird that like never happens in like movie theaters or anything when like the power goes out like that. Thankfully, knock on wood, that's rare.
Right. Yeah, it was just today. All
things.
Downtown Santa Rosa had or not all of it, but a fairly large section had a power outage early in the morning, and then they kind of like, as PG&E worked on it, it got smaller and smaller, and then finally the last little pinpoint was the
little
theater.
Epicenter. So, they were like, they're like, oh, you know what? It's not important. It's just the culture there tonight.
Right.
It's fine.
So I mean, it was so much so that I wasn't like worried about it at first, but then it kept going and going and going.
You like start to look at the clock. You're like, fuck.
I'm like, whoa, this is getting worse. Anyway, so we made do. We invaded a home. We don't know whose home this is.
No, they weren't. Okay. They weren't home, so we came in.
No, we just told you they're actually taped in the bathroom. So they're.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're just taped.
Hi.
Up. Hi. But anyway, other than that,
so we're all close and cuddly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night.
Caleb can't be far from us like he tries to be. He's right here, but he's in like touching distance.
So.
Good. Good. That's how we like you feeling.
We still have drinks, though. We got our drinks still.
Tonight is Manhunter night. Woo! The Michael Manhunter.
Yeah. The Michael Manhunter.
The Michael Manhunter. Yeah. We're doing that one.
We're doing that one.
So, but before we do that, we got a few things to take care of. Namely beverages.
Yes.
I have some NA gin, so non-alcoholic gin, with a little splash of ginger ale and some pineapple fizzy water. It's a tropical delight.
And I am doing, because we are not the Roxy, I can drink real whiskey. So I'm drinking lots and lots of real whiskey with some ginger ale.
Just a splash.
Yeah.
About like, what, 3 fingers?
3 fingers.
12 fingers. What about you?
Yeah, I'll be driving fine.
Okay.
If not, you need to sleep on this person's couch.
I have got, this is from Hen House Brewing. It's a Z word, an English pale ale with zombies.
Oh, wow.
And it's very Shaun of the Dead inspired art.
Yeah, I haven't tried this yet. This was given to me, and yeah.
They have the best art. They have the best freaking art on their cans.
Cool. Yeah. Well, friends.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Ooh, delicious. I'm so refreshed.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I recommend this. It's very toasty.
What's the chat drinking? You guys drinking anything fun and exciting?
Or not.
Or not. Oh, that's a great idea.
What if they have a snack? What if people have a snack?
Who's in our audience tonight?
Well, in audience, we've got Space Macy.
Ooh, Macy.
And we've also got producer Scott running things as always.
Fixing your audio.
Don't forget, we got Bill and Edith Johnson Meyer in the bathroom over there.
Mr. and Mrs. Johnson Meyer. Thanks.
All right. Interesting.
We promise we'll cut you down.
We've also got the Reverend Michael B. We've got my little big brother out in Minnesota, Enoch.
Minnesota way.
We've got Miss Movie Buff Laura.
Hi,
By the way, Laura, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Glad you're okay.
We love you, Laura.
We have Mark Vision's Truth up in East Washington.
We got the Mark in the house.
The truth is out there.
We have got Fresno film buff Evan.
Evan.
There's a magnifying glass on us tonight.
Evan
who loves this movie. And we've got
we love
Mindy, horror movie addict. I hope I got that right.
Oh, hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Let me see. Am I missing anybody?
Anybody
Am I
else
missing?
pop
Oh,
in?
Kelly. Kelly is here.
Where there's
Kelly.
an Evan, there's a Kelly, and
we've
vice
got the Scream
versa.
Queen, Kelly 84.
Hello, Kelly.
Mwah.
And
Okay.
maybe some other turkey lurkeys out there.
Oh, I see a turkey lurkey.
Say hi. Say
Yeah,
hi.
say
Yeah.
hi.
We'll
Say
call
hi,
you out
Turks.
eventually. Maybe
Turkey lurks.
if I can see you.
Just say
Yeah.
hello.
Say
No one's going to
hello.
bite you.
Well,
Except for Kelly. She plays pretty dirty.
if the biting starts, then we're all going to be biting.
All right. Anything happened this week, guys? We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Yeah,
We've seen each
that's
other.
not true.
We just haven't done this business.
That's so not true.
Yeah.
You didn't have to wrap me out. You could have just gone with it.
You don't have to break the
Yes, thank you.
I don't want people to
I'm
think
a
we
very
just
literal
hang out
person.
for this.
Very literal.
Yeah, it makes me sad to think like, oh, I don't talk to these motherfuckers except for when we do this show. Like, I see these motherfuckers often.
That's true.
Too often.
I mean, truth be told, I feel like I was just sitting here like a little while ago.
Do you have deja vu?
I do have deja vu.
Oh, I know why. So speaking of Kelly, that's my ghoul. We did a Spooky Slumber Party cult show crossover episode, which shall be live on Tuesday. Can't wait to talk about it with all y'all. Let us know what you think of it. We reviewed 13 Ghosts. The remake. Yeah. Not the 1960 version.
Very important.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be very funny. It was very fun to record with all of us. Of course, Spooky Slumber Party's been on the couch of the cult show before, but it's been a while.
Long time.
It has.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this was like
Pre-pandemic, actually.
pre-pandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-pandy. So I did that. Still making my way through TV shows and stuff. Started Midnight Mass, which is going to be a Spooky Slumber Party episode coming up soon as well. And I love me a Flanny. God, I love a Flanny. Mike Flanagan.
Yes, I finished it.
Oh, good.
Actually, so
Okay.
I'm done, and I don't know. I really wanted to just start back at the beginning and watch it again. I liked it that much.
I love high praise like that. That's so exciting.
It's Mike Flanagan has written just some just gloriously fucked up people. I mean, they are like so broken, and I love it. I love it. And then you put in like what people will do when they have like religion on their side, and how they will, just rationalize things. And it's so good.
Ooh, I'm
So
excited.
good.
I'm trying to get through it without like rushing, but also like I just want to just watch episode after episode after episode. It's one of those. It's just like one of those.
You think I can get my wife to watch it? Or will she run away in fear?
I mean, it's not scary by any means.
Does she
I mean,
like slow burn?
the scary part of it is that there are actually people out there that
Who are like that.
Yeah.
who are
Okay.
like that. That's the
If
scariest
she
thing
doesn't like
about it,
slow
but-
burn, I imagine that would be a little bit of a
but
hard sell.
Yeah, and you know what? The slow burn I had no problem with.
I love- yeah.
Like it was really, really good setup. All of it.
Books and movies, horror books and movies that are slow burn, I like it. I invest.
It can be done wrong. Don't I mean, but
That is not
this,
slow burn. It's just slow.
This was there. You go. This I don't. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay. I'm going to start it soon then.
Good.
With or without the wife.
Probably without, it sounds like. So I'm just going to have to find time.
Just
Drag her in front of the television,
Just
and
like-
then if she doesn't
sit
like
here.
it,
Sit here. Shut up. Watch what I put on.
here's a cookie. Now beat
Right
me.
Yeah.
here, I brought you.
Silent.
I brought you Taco Bell.
That'll go real well. Goodbye, penis. Goodbye.
La Coco.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Say
Lococos?
here's La Cocos.
Every episode.
Gourmet food. Gourmet.
Did you have anything else?
Oh, I finally watched Audition for the very first time, and good lord, what a crazy fucked up.
Hi, shout out to everybody who was watching Audition.
You know, I still don't know what I think about that movie, but I'm glad that I finally saw it. You know, Neil chose it for one of the cult film series movies.
After I begged for it
2 weeks ago, I guess now, and it's a good movie. It's a bizarre movie.
It is. I got to go, like, because I've been begging Neil, like, for this movie, and so then he, like, picked it, and it was, like, a surprise, allegedly, like, he didn't tell me, and then I'm like, how could you not tell me? And I, like, lost my mind, and then I was like, I have to go, I have to talk to people about it, and so he kindly let me go talk about my love for Japanese horror.
Yeah.
And I was so happy.
You introduced the film, and you did a very good job.
Yep.
So.
Thank you. I was so excited. And I just love it. I just love a good controversial movie. Makes you think, and you don't know if you like it or you don't, but you know it was good, and I like that. And it's violent. And there's also a part with Kelly, cover your ears, with the puke.
Yeah.
That makes me like, ugh, think about it. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty,
All right.
That's all I have, Neil.
Okay.
Your turn.
So I'm still on the Creep Show series.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I'm done now. But there was another good episode. Like this season,
From
episode
season 3?
Season 3 surprised me, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised by how good they did. Episode 6, there was a segment called "A Dead Girl Named Sue." And it was written by John Harrison, which, if you guys know, is the gentleman who did the music for Creep Show. Oh. And he also directed the film Dark Side of the Moon. Tales from the Dark Side.
Yes.
He also did the music for Day of the Dead. Anyway, so he wrote and I think and directed this episode. And it's really cool because it takes place the exact same time of the events from Night of the Living Dead are happening. With Barbara and Ben in the house in 1968.
No.
Oh shit! But it's like just a different location, right?
Wow.
Oh my God!
It's a whole different story happening. But the news reports that you're seeing on the TV from the farmhouse are the same ones that are being played in what's going on.
Genius.
So yeah, no, it
Genius.
was really cool. I was like, oh, this is like finally like you're doing things.
Why has no one ever done that before, though?
So,
Ramiro, why didn't you do that?
but I know, right? So if you guys haven't seen episode 6, A Dead Girl Named Sue, it was really
and you legit liked it. Like,
yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
none of the Creep Show things are like they're not like the greatest acted things on TV, but when they throw things in for real horror fans, that's when then the nostalgia kicks in and you forgive a level of acting that may not be at the highest level.
Wow.
That being said, it was a good episode. I recommend.
Noted.
So American Horror Story, Death Valley. I've gotten back into that after waiting like several weeks. Finally,
I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up.
I like it. Okay.
I am very happy with Red Tide.
Right.
Loved it. I'm just not caught up, so I can't say my thoughts yet.
Right. Well, I recommend. I've been liking
yes.
it. It's been because they're kind of mixing like history, revisionist history now with it, and so it's kind of really cool the way they do it.
I love history,
and I love the history stuff. So yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Red Tide was really great. I was very pleasantly surprised with it. Not pleasantly surprised, but I was kind of like, where are we going? And it wasn't anything I guessed.
Oh.
Which
is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, for me, I got my booster, my number 3 shot, and my flu shot.
Dang.
Last Friday. Got them at the same time.
How did you not just explode?
I know. Well,
with health.
Explode with health.
I got my flu shot about a month ago, and then I am getting my booster next week.
Good. Excellent.
Excited.
So, just letting you all know.
Boost
We're
me up.
all holy.
Boost me up, Fauci.
I've never had a flu shot before.
Well,
I'm a big
now's
fan.
The time.
I've been getting the flu shot for years, and I never get the flu. And this is even when I've worked in retail and in dining and other places where you're like really like up in people's business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never got the flu.
I don't know. We do it. But anyway, so we said it before, but I think we all agree that we are vaccinated folk, and we definitely recommend.
Go for the jab.
Macy got her first one.
Good job,
Yay!
Macy.
Because they approved the 5 to 11 and she falls into that age range.
She is 5.
So she got her first one on
She is 5.
last Saturday, I believe it
Cool.
was.
Any issues? Felt great.
Yeah. She said it was fine.
She's
Perfect.
a happy jabber.
Happy jabbers. I like
Jabber. The jabber walk. All right.
Cool. So that's all that happened to me the last couple weeks, really.
Yeah.
Other than that, we have Show Us Your Merch.
Show us your merch.
Show us your merch. Show us your
Your
merch.
merch.
Show us your
Your
merch.
merch. Where's that merch at?
That's our song. Show us your merch. It's up there. It's Laura.
Point.
Laura's with her
Point.
cup. Laura, thank you so much for sending us that picture and
Very
posing.
very cute picture.
You and Mark, Vision's Truth, go together with your cult show mugs. Thank you very much. We like your mug. and your mug.
Your mug? We like it.
And then finally, there is a new subscriber alert.
No Name 707.
Hello, No Name.
I like that.
No name?
I like that.
Is it the no name?
The No
The
Name
No
707.
Name.
DJ no name?
Kind of doubt it because of the 707 connection, but hi, welcome, No Name. Happy to have you.
All right. Other than that, I will
Pass the ball to me.
Pass.
All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, the main event. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Manhunter. So this was a producer Scott request.
I gotta practice that one a little
You
more.
do, but you're getting there. He requested, dare I say, one of your favorite films, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of his favorite films.
Wow.
1986 Manhunter, directed by Michael Mann, adapted from Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. Harrison? Thomas Harris? Harrison Harris?
It doesn't matter.
I've got Harris.
Harris. So, FBI criminal profiler Will Graham is called out of early retirement to assist on a serial murder case involving a killer known as the Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy. Graham enlists the help of imprisoned. I can't read or speak. He calls on Dr. Lecter, who he put away, to help him kind of crack the case. Soon Graham and the FBI are entangled in a deadly cat and mouse game between the Tooth Fairy, Lecter, and an interfering journalist played by Stephen Lang back when he had
Stephen
red hair. It is like, you know it's him, but you don't know it's him. It's a trip. So just first, we put up a little thing on our Instagram, on our story, where it was like, who's your Lecter? And we had the two cinematic Lecters.
Correct.
We had Brian Cox
Yep.
and Anthony Hopkins.
Correct.
But a lot of people would actually go with
Mads?
Mads Mikkelsen from the TV show. I haven't watched the TV show. I'm sure I will at one point, and I'm sure I will love it. I love Mads Mikkelsen. And then, of course, there's also your book Lecter. And then there's also your Lecter, your Hannibal prequel. It sounded like NyQuil when I said that, like prequel, NyQuil. So you got all these Lecters running around. But a lot of people like to have fun little chatty debates about who is your Lecter. Put it down below. Tell us in the comments below, who the heck is your Lecter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, shall we just go down the line and say what we thought of this film? First impressions?
Should we?
Should we?
Yeah. Are we starting with me? You're looking
We're
at
starting
me.
with you. And then we'll finish with producer Scott.
Okay. So I will start out by saying I really like this movie. It is a very good movie. It's fun. It's like it encapsulates the 80s with the sound and the look and the acting and you know, the soundtrack. I will say Brian Cox is not my Lecter.
Not my Lecter.
He's definitely not my Lecter. It's not that he does a bad job. Mm-hmm. Brian Cox is a phenomenal actor who, I mean, I love what he's done in the McDonald's commercials. Like whenever he goes, I just want to run out and get some fries right now. So bad.
You just want some salty faux potato.
No, but seriously, he is a wonderful, amazing actor, but I just don't by him as Lecter, Hannibal Lecter.
Who is your Lecter?
You know, having read all the books, I would say Mad Mikkelsen is the one that like gets everything.
That like really
everything.
erudite Lecter.
Yeah, I mean, he's scary. He's like this kind of aristocrat. You know, I mean, he would probably be my favorite.
I love it.
Yeah. But if we're just talking cinematic, Anthony Hopkins.
And had you seen this before?
Yes. A few times.
Okay.
Quite a few times, actually.
Okay. I realized we hadn't. I don't think we had talked about it, you and I. So I was like,
No, we never had. But
never.
No, I've seen it a few times. I don't remember when or. You know,
it wasn't one of those where you were watching it and then you were
It definitely
like,
wasn't in the theater. That's for sure. I was
1986.
12 when this came out. So.
Yeah.
Me?
Please, you're next
Okay.
on the line.
So I also like this film.
That was a big sigh, though.
No, well, I'm dreading getting to the whole "who's your Lecter" part.
Oh, it's just for fun.
Don't even
So-
worry
This
about
won't be
it.
held
but-
accountable in a court of law.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna.
They're so gentle. They're
You're not
nice.
gonna hold it against me, okay.
It's
No,
not like we're talking about 13 Ghosts.
Right, exactly.
Picking your favorite
Juggernaut.
ghost. And then everyone's like, the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. What the hell's wrong with you?
The worst ghost?
Yeah. So okay, I'm a big Michael Mann fan.
You can't speak
I can't
either.
talk either. It's catching.
Twinsies.
Jeez, it must be the booster flu shot.
This is a flu shot.
Don't get the flu shot, Caleb.
You can't speak.
I am a big Michael Mann fan.
Fan.
So I saw this film one time. I'm pretty sure a long time ago because I remember I remember William Peterson. I remember Brian Cox, and I remember like the beach. I remember the beach.
It was probably like an HBO thing.
It must
you
have
know?
been.
And the
right?
hella blue of Miami is very blue there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't remember like, and Tom Noonan, I remember vaguely. So I was very, very happy to watch it again, and I very, very much enjoyed watching it. I mean, it was great. I love, like Caleb said, I love the tones of the film. We'll get into more stuff about what other there, but I very much enjoyed the film. As far, I'll be honest, I don't have a favorite Lecter. I have not seen the TV show, so I cannot speak to that.
Right.
And then to make a pick between Anthony Hopkins and Brian Cox, I don't know that I can necessarily because I think
he's
Brian
lying.
Cox wasn't featured. He was only in 2 scenes.
I know. Yeah.
Well, but
he's in it
Hannibal,
for-
Anthony Hopkins is only in like 7 minutes of that.
Yeah, but the minutes he's in,
Yeah.
those are like,
Yeah.
I mean, they were pretty consequential scenes. They were very, a big part of the story, and there were some big plot points of what was happening.
Correct.
I mean,
Interesting.
in that cage in the middle of that big room with what he, everything, all that stuff, that was, much bigger than what Brian Cox did.
That brings me to a really good point, actually, when it's my turn.
Done. Your turn.
So I had seen this movie before, and I really liked it when I'd seen it. And upon rewatching it, I actually love it. It's definitely a love. It has ascended from like to love status.
Wow.
And before in my mind, I'm like, well, I like Manhunter, but I love Silence of the Lambs, and but I actually love them both, and I have a lot of love for Red Dragon, not so much love for the Hannibal prequel. I expected a lot more, but I think very, very fine films all. Technically, my Lecter is Anthony Hopkins. Again, having not seen the TV show, but I have a feeling that Mads might sneak in there. But technically, he is. And I don't want to take too much of producer Scott's thunder because he's going to have his own opinion about all of this. But when we were talking about it, and this is kind of to your point, Lecter is really built up in Silence of the Lambs. We know what he did. We know he has to be in that cage thing. And we know, like, there's stuff around this Lecter in this movie, like, protocols and stuff. But everything feels much riskier with Anthony Hopkins. I mean, and he's on the dolly cart thing with the face mask. And
that first scene, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but the first scene where Jodie Foster is walking down the cell and she has to pass all the inmates first, and I mean
the guy with the jizz,
that's like scary shit, you know, like, but with this you don't get that.
And I kind of feel like that's a little bit it's not Cox's fault that he didn't get that we didn't get to hear about his crimes. Like, they don't even mention that he's a cannibal
Right.
and stuff. And so it's kind of almost a little not fair, because it's like we don't get to see how scary this character truly is, and from the books and everything we know how truly scary is. But I think it's a gorgeous film. I think it fills you with that anxiety, that like there's a sense of urgency to this film, especially one particular scene which we'll talk about. It's a masterpiece. Masterpiece.
Wow.
Producer Scott.
So I love this film for so many reasons. I'll keep it short since I'm not on camera. But I love the tone of it. I actually like the music even more than I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a couple misses, but for the most part, all the music's really good.
The stairs, for example, would be a miss. But so to talk about Anthony Hopkins versus Brian Cox. Anthony Hopkins is he's a horror movie villain. He is a Freddy. He is a Jason. He is really terrifying. But at the end of the day, Hannibal Lecter was a psychiatrist.
This is the point where producer Scott kind of has made me think a little bit.
And Brian Cox, I could see him being my therapist.
Right.
I can think of a therapist in my head that I had that wonderful man, very, very nice person. But if I saw in the paper that he turned out being a serial killer and a cannibal, I'd be like, yeah, that tracks. Because Brian Cox sells that horrifying intelligence.
Yes.
While still being like
disarming.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can understand why Clarice would fall in love with Brian Cox. I don't understand why there's that weird tension between her and Anthony Hopkins, because he's just terrifying.
Yeah.
So if you're going for just the most terrifying Lecter, Anthony Hopkins wins, but Brian Cox is believable, and for that reason is scarier to me.
So he's a working man's Lecter.
Something like that. Like the part.
I don't get that though. I mean, just for me, to me, watching him, he just kind of looks like a thug. You know, I'm not getting like psychiatrist vibes.
Oh, really?
No, not at all.
I do get the psychiatrist vibes, and like especially when he does the little phone trick, is like this other kind of persona comes out of him, and you could maybe see how this guy moves through the world by kind of playing to what people want him to be. I can see that a lot more.
Yeah,
Whereas, I agree. I wouldn't go in and like have a nice therapy sesh with Anthony
Everyone
Hopkins.
likes that phone trick though, but I was just thinking like, I saw that in 1984, a little movie called War Games. Matthew Broderick's David did that with a payphone.
So see, it was funny because I when he did the little phone thing, I still don't understand how it works.
I know.
And I was like, I don't understand touch tone phone. I'm so confused. And
There's something about touching metal to it.
Scott's like, he basically called zero back when that was like a thing you could do.
Yeah.
And there's still an operator around.
Operator.
Yeah.
Can you connect me?
In War Games, David was able just to get a dial tone from putting the soda bottle thing.
Yeah.
Touching, got a dial tone. And Hannibal was able to basically get an operator on there.
But have you guys ever seen somebody make a lantern out of a shoestring and salad dressing?
I think it's only in Australia that happens.
It's only the really high acidic salad dressing that you can do that trick with.
It's only
Yeah.
We're, one of these days we're gonna myth bust that, but
oh my god, it's gonna be like,
I think we're gonna wait
we just ruined a shoelace.
We're gonna wait until we're back here in your house again.
Oh my god, what if it explodes? And we gotta be like, we just wasted a whole shoelace. So let's go through this, shall we? Let's pick apart. Let's parse apart the Manhunter by the man, Michael Mann. It's like a poem. Okay. I love the opening. It's just that creepy, voyeuristic, you just feel dirty. What am I seeing? Opening of the lady in the bed.
Yes. What a way to wake up.
What a way to open the film.
Jesus.
Yeah. How much do you guys love William Peterson? Because I love William Peterson.
I love William Peterson. I love William Peterson in his little short shorts.
Oh my God, he's 33 in this movie.
I love William Peterson with his like shorter on top but longer
Very
on the sides.
It's kind
hair.
of like it's a shape. I don't know the shape, but it's a shape in there.
It's like a mushroom cap.
Slight point at the top.
I love all the clothes in this movie.
I love his vacay clothes.
But his, like the flannel, not a flannel, it was a thermal, like cut off shorts. I don't know. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but
he doesn't either.
Whoever the clothing person was,
the costume mistress.
Yeah, there you go. Just nailed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's everything about this movie is so tonally different of, when they're in Miami versus when he's in FBI mode. Mm-hmm. And obviously the clothes is the easiest way to convey that. I swear to God, he even looks more tan when he's in Miami.
Oh, his legs were like, oh my God.
Yeah. But then he like gets back up
is that
north.
A real tan?
Gets back up north a ways, and he's not as tan anymore.
Bronze Thunder, baby.
But I was watching this and I was thinking, like, you know what? He was great in CSI.
He was fucking great in CSI. But
he was also great in this, and it's in a way it's kind of the same role a little bit. They're both kind of like eccentric
procedural
investigators. Yeah.
I started watching CSI when I was but a wee lad back in 2000, and back in those days, I did not have cable. And there was not things like CSI on the television back then. It was like they were talking about semen. They were talking about people dying at sex clubs and like things. Right. And it was like a raw, gritty show. And it was so nice for the young freak like myself. And then, of course, some really great characters. And his character is so beloved. William Peterson.
So I have never seen the CSI.
Oh, okay.
I first met him in this film probably, and then in Return to Lonesome Dove.
Oh my God, I remember that movie.
Yep.
Okay.
He was back in that.
Damn.
So, way back when.
And CSI is back, but I haven't caught up yet. I'm sorry, Grissom. I'll catch up with you and Sarah and everybody as soon as I can.
Good old Gil Grissom. Yep. I believe it's on Hulu if you would like.
Hulu?
I'll do like 1,000 years worth of episodes.
I mean, you're always saying like I've run out of things to watch. What do I watch?
What do I watch now? CSI until I die.
And then you've got
I love that's
CSI
a good
Miami,
tattoo.
and then you've got CSI New York.
You could have some NCIS. It's got some of the same letters.
Which one is Christopher Maloney on?
That's Law and Order.
Law and Order.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now he's on Law and Order, Organized Crime, or
Scene of the Crime, or
Scene of the Crime.
Crime Scene.
Sesame Street. Law and Order Sesame Street. Ooh. Okay. If I may. So the music, when Will is profiling the house the first time, it's great music, and you have this blood contrast with all the 80s white.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And lots of blood.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Before he got into the house, though.
Before he even got in.
Did you guys notice the cop that dropped him off?
I noticed him.
Yes.
That was the principal from Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh my God.
The one getting whipped in the shower.
Marshall Bell.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
I thought for a minute you were going to say it was the guy in Cannibal Holocaust who was also in. We keep finding on all these different things. Yeah. That's
it's the turtle.
No, but this movie has a bunch of like little bit parts. You know, I mean, we get to see a young Chris Elliott.
Joan Allen.
At one point.
Oh, yeah. I actually said, oh, hi, Chris Elliott. Yeah.
And looks exactly the same, actually.
Like, exactly the same.
Changed
you could have plunked him.
Did you always have that beard? Jesus.
He has no chin under there.
Like, literally, it just stops at his lips. And it goes straight back.
Oh, and in that same scene I was describing with the blood and everything, when the answering machine picks up and you like hear her voice, it's just like, oh, it just feels so brutal. It feels so intimate and so like haunting.
Well, it's cool how he's describing to himself so he can try to understand the killer more about what he did to the victims.
Right.
How the spray pattern, most likely arterial, blah, blah, blah. And the splat over there means you carried him over there and all kind of stuff. And it was like so much blood in the room. It was really well done, though, the way he was going through it and what he was basically telling all of us, to kind of
and I will say the book is very much like that. I mean, the way he writes, it's very like, I don't know. I mean, either he did it or he interviewed it. Like,
Thomas has killed people.
Lots of investigators, because they really go into
maybe listen to a lot of tapes and
maybe. So, but I'm glad they put that in the movie, though. I mean, it just made his character so much more real.
Right. Yeah. You get that whole, because there's this whole thing as the movie progresses that he got too involved and he couldn't leave Lecter's mind.
Well, and as Lecter sort of hints, he's like one step away from, they're basically the same person, he's just like one step removed from becoming someone like Lecter because his mind works kind of the same way.
Right.
And that's why he's able to investigate all these crime scenes, and why he had to take a huge step back and get away from it because he was in way too deep.
And that's, his nature as a profiler. I suppose it makes sense. Well, I know I listen and I watch and I read a lot of true crime stuff. And there's these things that haunt people and they carry with them. And sometimes you can compartmentalize and sometimes you cannot. And he got dragged in again. It's like the mafia. He thinks he's out. And his friend manipulated him right back in.
Dennis Farina.
Dennis Farina. You better watch him.
Fucking Ray Bones, man.
Right. Don't you puke in my shoes, Harry. Some of William Peterson's, we'll call them reflections, when he's talking out loud about what's going on, a few of them felt a little awkward to me. Like when he was kind of like, you went over here and you did that, didn't you? Didn't you?
Bastard.
You son of a bitch.
I know, exactly. It's kind of like, I don't know that you would probably really do that out loud. I mean, maybe you would.
Maybe you would.
But, I mean... Like in the 80s, I don't think I was doing that. I wasn't.
I know, but I think he's an awkward person.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, he's not normal by any means.
He's a little awkward, yes.
Yeah.
But
if I can say, though, that is built to stand in contrast with the way that he talks in the end when he's going through the house the last time.
Yes.
He says, I enter the house. It's no longer you, it's now an I.
And maybe that was a little bit of story building to be at the beginning when he's like, you bastard, you son of a bitch and all that. And then to this change when he's fully in the mind. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was to kind of illustrate.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't work for Neil, but at least he's listening.
It was a choice,
It's a storytelling choice, yeah.
It's laugh-worthy. I'm not actually defending it. It's laugh-worthy.
It's just an
No, and I always like to say, you son of a bitch, whatever he does. Like,
yeah. He says it with such vehemence, too. The Tooth Fairy, already creepy enough. And then we got to make the Tooth Fairy creepier. It's already a fairy that takes your teeth.
It doesn't pull them out of your mouth, though. They're under your pillow.
We don't know that, Neil.
That's the Tooth Fairy that I grew up knowing.
The common narrative. We don't know. And what's she doing with those teeth?
Shh. Macy's here.
She's making a necklace.
She doesn't know.
I would wear a tooth necklace.
I know you.
Is the Tooth Fairy hiring? Because I could see
Do they
myself.
offer dental?
She's like, well, I mean, I'll swap out a tooth for you if you need it. But and I would be like, perfect. Where do I sign?
Probably offering lots of Coke and Pepsi.
Let's talk about the Tooth Fairy. The brilliant. I've said it before on this show. I love Tom Noonan. Freaking love him. Damn, he's so good in this role because he knows when to be understated. And there's that part where you start to have a little empathy for him, just a little. Mm-hmm. And then he ruins it. And then you're like, oh, yeah. And then you lost it. But there's something about that that guy, that he's a little complicated. I too love William Blake art, and so we have that in common. There was the song, I'm skipping around a little bit, that plays during his love scene, and it made me, as I say in my notes, lol. That was one of the misses. But Tom Noonan, do you see? Do you see? And of course, I think
direct
that's
quote from the book.
And then I think of the South Park episode. So, no. What you guys think of Tom Noonan?
Tom Noonan, he wore very interesting shirts.
Yeah,
I will start there.
Very interesting. And they got more elaborate, and I think it was because he wanted her to feel the texture. That's my theory.
I didn't even think about that, but that's a very good point. So in the book, his character is very tragic, abandoned by his mother, raised by an abusive grandmother who also kind of like molested him, and so he's kind of a sad character to begin with.
There's some empathy there already.
He's dealing with some things, but when he what was her name, the woman he hooks up, Reba. When he and Reba meet, she's like his chance, his redemptive, arc, if you will. And the scene where after they've, hooked up or whatever, and she's sleeping, and he puts her hand on his face, on his mouth, because he's got the
hair lip thing,
and he doesn't like people touching it. It's just like,
oh, it does. It makes your heart like.
I know, it's so sad. It's so sad, and then. He
ruins it,
and then he goes psycho when some other guy is dropping Reba off, but
she had pollen on her.
But just the way what he them
sees.
showing what he sees, and like ripping the vinyl off of the dashboard of his van. Oh, it's disturbing.
It's a horrible sound.
It's
go plowing through some bushes.
It's very effective. Let's say that. But I like him a lot as an actor. He works.
Yeah, no, I agree. As an actor, he's great. Like you said, he can go from menacing to understated very quickly. And that's what I think makes him so scary as a killer in this movie. Spoiler! That he can be so menacing and evil and just, really big, just a big presence physically on the screen.
He's such a huge person.
Yeah. He's a big guy. He's 6'5".
Yeah. 7. I thought he was 6'7". Yeah. I don't know.
But then he can just also then, regress into a scared child, basically. Yeah. To a point. Or
look at his Frankenstein in a.
Yeah, there you go.
Bye, Phoebe.
That's it. So I dig him. I like him a lot.
A couple of my favorite Tom Noonan roles, in case you are a Tom Noonan fan and you haven't watched some of her other episodes. I love him in
Last Action Hero.
You made me lose it. House of the Devil. Love him in House of the Devil. Love him in Late Phases. And this is like, so obscure, but I love my Law and Order SVU. He has an episode where he guest stars as a very bad person, and he is like, he will make your hair curl or stand on end or do something it doesn't want to do naturally.
Grow for me.
It could make it grow, but he will just his character will curdle your stomach, and it's just Tom. It's just Tom. He's so dang good.
Yeah. Interesting. Didn't he also play Trash Can Man in The Stand? That one with Gary Sinise and.
No, I don't think so.
Ringwald. He wasn't one of the.
No.
The bad guy? No. Okay.
That was I can't think of his name.
Some other interesting looking fellow.
Some other interesting looking fellow.
All right.
We'll get back to it.
But Last Action Hero.
Yeah. It's a movie.
Absolutely.
That happened.
No,
I like it.
Scott likes Last Action Hero.
Oh, okay.
I like it just fine. In my memory, where it should remain, because I know it's got that nostalgic lean on it. So I'm like, let's just leave it there where I like it.
No, it's good. You should watch it again.
I don't know. There's a lot of things one should leave in Nostalgia Alley.
You should. You know what? Next time it's my pick. I'm sure I'll forget.
I hope I like it. I hope I like
we're
it.
on Tom Noonan kick, so you might as well.
Yeah.
Scott, don't let me forget.
Can we talk a little bit more about the Lecter when he's with Will and we see them together? Well, first of all, it's a great several scenes back to back with that one, but he has that, I said it in my notes, he has like a little cheery tone in his voice, like he's seeing this old friend. They are not friends. He hurt him. I like how determined he is to know how he got caught. It's like it really bothers him, but he's trying to act like it doesn't bother him, but it really bothers him. Lots of nice little nuance in that scene. And he's chilling because, you know, he did all this bad stuff. We don't know in detail, like we talked about, you know, but he did really bad stuff. The whole cinematography of that scene is beautiful. Producer Scott and I were talking about the way it's set up. Technically, Lecter's in a cage, but who holds the power in that scene? Man in the cage holds the power. And then, of course, right following that scene is when Will has a panic attack, and goes running and booking it, and it's so nice because it's great because it's like he has PTSD and it's legit and it feels like, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't he have PTSD?
No, I'm not laughing that scene was fine.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him, his character. Sorry. No, I always laugh at the security guards that are like reaching for their guns.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck's going on? You know,
Did he get out?
This person is just running, and then the building that they're using, like where he's got to go back and
he has to go so far.
You know, down these ramps to get out.
Because Lecter's down deep there in the nucleus. Oh, and Dr. Chilton. I'm having an old friend for dinner. That's going to come back to haunt him. Different actor, though. But yeah, so that's where we really get to see some of the ooey gooey Lecter. What do you like about Lecter in that scene, Scott, with Will when we first meet?
I mean, for me, it's just he's so manipulative and smart and charismatic. I mean, that's really all I have. I mean, that's all I have to say. It's
like you're describing me.
And he has a great voice. I love Brian Cox's voice.
He does have a great voice.
Yeah, he's just so charming, and like you almost,
he has charisma.
Like you want to like him, and then you just kind of. Now, okay, let me just say, and this is kind of going forward a little bit. It's disappointing that he's not. It's not explained that he's a cannibal in this film.
It would make it so much creepier.
I don't know if it would make it creepier. I don't know if they, you know, if man kind of cut that out to make it a little bit more friendly to general audiences,
yes.
Or if that's
did they just kind of say he like killed some sorority girls or something?
Exactly.
Like just made him just
9
like
that you know of,
like a horror
Which is
film.
Scary and a lot, but it's not quite on the same level as eating people,
right?
Which is like one of the biggest taboos.
But see, that's the thing. Not just eating people. Hannibal didn't just eat people. He ate people that offended him.
Yeah, he had like a whole.
That's important.
He had like a whole logic to how he chose his victims.
Yeah,
and it's not the same as just killing some people that were there.
Right.
Which is bad. I don't see. It makes it sound like it's not bad. It's bad to just kill
that's
people.
That's creepier, though. You know, killing someone because they offend you. The flautist. You know, like the first chair flautist in the Baltimore Symphony or whatever, missed a note, so he ends up on your dinner table.
You have to go.
Like that's kind of cool, you know. But like he's not just randomly choosing people, and that's what I don't get from Brian Cox. You know, I don't get that level of sophistication that I want from my Hannibal.
I agree. I don't think that Brian Cox puts off.
But he wasn't written that way. So
he wasn't.
It's not his fault. It's not. But that's what I want.
He's not I get foppish. Is that the word I'm looking for? He's not like
aristocrat, erudite. He's classy.
He's not that. But something about. But he. Imagining Brian Cox, it's like a betrayal that he would be this serial killer.
Well, and that he would do that whole phone trick and out his address. Dox him. He doxed him. He was doxing before people were doxing.
Because he seems, he seems intimidating, especially like, how did you get me? How did you catch me, Will? But he also seems friendly in a way that's disarming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody else feel bad? Maybe you guys did too. I laughed when the kid sees the pics on the plane. And then the mom's like, they call it stewardess, and it's like, and I mean,
and the stewardess come. By the way, we call them flight attendants now.
Yeah, like,
but the stewardess comes and like throws something over them.
It like ushers them away.
And Will just is like, what?
I mean, it was kind of a oops, my bad. They're kind of graphic photos, but it did make me laugh that the kid's like, mommy, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want my kids seeing them either, but I mean. It's sort of on Will that, he just thought like, oh, I'll just whip these out here.
Yeah, fall asleep looking at them.
And see what I can, figure out.
I think people overreacted to that. They were kind of like, everyone's freaking out, like jumping out of the seats and everything. Like,
there's a guy behind, like peering over.
Trying to see like what's going on.
He's like, is it porn? Are we looking at porn? I like porn.
Better than the damn movie they make us watch.
Oh, what a jokester.
That same scene, though, that dream sequence, that wasn't really necessary.
That dream sequence, though.
It's not, okay, it's not as bad as I remember, because in my head, I had this, like, oh my god, it's like 10 minutes of just a blue filter over the beach, and it's not quite that bad, but it's... Okay, he loves his wife. He's dreaming about his wife and his family. Okay, I think you can get through that without making an entire music video.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not. Have you read the books? Either of you, by the way? I'm not even looking at Neil, but
I'm not looking at you, Neil.
So in Red Dragon, like he and his wife go through a whole thing because she doesn't want him to go back.
Of course.
And they kind of show that a little bit, but I felt like what that scene was showing was that they're showing how much he loves this woman. The kid is not his kid. That's her kid that he's sort of not even adopted, but he's
mentoring.
Still he still calls him dad, but this is important to him because it's gotten him away from all
the darkness,
all this FBI bullshit that he's been immersed in, and I won't spoil the book, but
no, please don't.
No, it's okay, just in case you're gonna read it, but
don't do it.
That was that's what I felt that scene was
trying to
show,
and in a very 1986 way.
Yes, we're gonna make a music video out of it.
Music video, they said.
Well,
and isn't that what? Didn't Michael Mann make music videos at one point?
He probably did. Yes.
A lot of directors have.
Yeah. So that kind of segues a bit. First of all, Scott, I didn't have an issue with it. It didn't bother me. I didn't think it went on too long.
It's okay,
but
you're wrong.
It's true.
It's a little cheesy.
I can.
It's a little cheesy.
But Michael Mann, if you look, there's a lot of style in the film that is very Michael Mann. And maybe also his cinematographer Dante Spinotti. I think I even have it. Yeah. Yep. Dante Spinotti.
The beautiful cinematography in the film.
Very much, and they also work together in Heat. Just so you know.
Oh, just so you know.
When I make you guys watch Heat finally.
Yep.
But there's a lot of actors standing in front of windows. There's a lot of portrait type stuff with everything blurred in the background. And just the characters, versus like a wide shot of everything being in focus. It's that kind of thing, and it's all very Michael Mannish, and I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Totally,
it's wonderful.
love it. Yeah.
I love the colors. There's a lot of big horizon shots with pinks and blues and yellows and everything.
It's part of what makes the movie just beautiful to behold.
It is.
Yeah.
But even there's also like some cityscapes. when there's, they're up on a balcony and a city's behind them, kind of stuff that I think is also very just beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
And I love the way he places the music over when he does it, and it's very kind of low key, not obtrusive. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of a nice little tonal, background track, basically, kind of deal that he uses a lot. Which, when you watch Heat, you're gonna go, whoa, Manhunter. So it's gonna be very reminiscent of that. But
we'll remember when fondly when we talked about Manhunter. So at one point, there's a guy on fire in a chair. Brilliant. You just get a little snippet of him, just enough to, and of course there's the parking lot attendant who sees him coming first.
And there's that little bit of smear of gore on the camera.
Yeah.
When it hits at the end.
Classic.
Yeah. Some of us here
things don't end well for Stephen Lang.
No. So this one and I, we love give us gore, give us more, but sometimes less is more. That's a great example of you just need a little bit of a man on fire in a chair
rushing at you
down an embankment in a parking garage. We say
squeak,
this one
squeak,
to you.
squeak.
Yeah. This one to you, squeak, Michael Mann.
Squeak. Wait, what?
I think it's really sweet, totally tonally different when Will and Kevin have their conversation in the grocery store. I really like that scene because I really like it when people don't talk down to kids, especially about like serious issues, and you just get to see some of that great acting right there from old Bill.
So I like that, definitely.
Yeah.
I love seeing all the old cereal boxes and
the old coffee stuff
that they've like changed their logos since then.
Michael Mann did have to pay some bills.
We did get a Count Chocula, and I think a Boo Berry.
Boo or Franken? It was one.
No, it wasn't the Frank. I think it was the Boo Berry.
Michael Mann had to pay some bills, so we did need a little bit of product placement in there for all those colors.
And that was the scene the shot looking at William Peterson. Looking at the kid, you got like a bunch of Jell-O and coffee.
Yep.
And then at one point, they're still holding the conversation, but the background completely changes to like canned pineapple or something.
I guess they moved slowly a few inches forward.
But they're still talking about the same thing. Every time I watch it, I'm like, all right, it's going to change right here.
Continuity. No, maybe. But I love that
just seeing just all the cereal.
That's all. I was only looking at the cereal. I wasn't even looking at William Peterson. At that
right.
You weren't even listening to the brilliant dialogue. You're just like.
But like when he finds the Mars candy bar wrapper, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like Mars bars the wrapper used to be like a light tan.
Yeah.
With like a brown writing or something.
It's not very eye-catching.
I'm just
probably why they changed it.
That's what we grew up with. I forgot. They changed it, and I forgot.
It's really interesting too, as a true crime follower person, the way like where they were at this point in the 80s, where like they have these indexes for fingerprints, and they did know some stuff about DNA, but they weren't all the way there yet. But it's really cool because like around that time, like they knew DNA was going to get there someday, so they did try to collect a lot of it to like use it for future things, and sometimes they were able to use it and help solve crimes and stuff. It's just interesting, and kind of like there's a little bit of cell phones. There are those giant cell phones. Everybody's hopping on choppers everywhere to get around, which I guess they still do, but you don't think about it like that. And now in like a true crime thing, they don't talk about, so then we hopped on the chopper. Like, I don't know.
I like to picture the fingerprint guy with a giant Rolodex of fingerprints.
Yes.
And like he's holding this fingerprint in his left hand while flicking through this Rolodex on the right, one by one.
I'm sure that's just how they did. Well, I mean, he talks
and
about.
He's like, I found no matches.
Yeah, I don't know how, but somebody did. Yeah. And like he talks about, at one point, the scientist talks about all the work that had to go into making those teeth impressions. They had to like go to the Smithsonian, and it was like, now we just pop down to the lab and whip up some teeth. It's not the same.
Right.
It's just very
or go
interesting.
to a dentist. I mean, I'm sure they
or
had
makeup artist
in 1986.
You could go to a makeup artist. You don't even have to go to a dentist.
Or they probably have someone that's trained to just do it in-house.
Now they just have somebody that does it. It's just interesting. It's cool to watch how the science and the investigation and all of that stuff has progressed.
Yeah, definitely. When they're looking at the roll of toilet paper and he's putting in the different, filters, to see.
All of that scene with the letter, that's part of like when I talked earlier about the sense of urgency.
Yes.
There is such a brilliant sense of urgency.
Really works, because they know they only have X amount of time before Hannibal will get suspicious.
Because the whole thing is like we're on a lunar cycle, so like we only have X amount of days counting down, and then on top of that it gets to the point where they have hours, where they have minutes, and it feels urgent. The actors do a good job of portraying like we got to try to figure this out, we got to try to do this, and they're coming up with plans and contingency plans, and we're gonna work through the personal ads and all this stuff, and it feels edge of your seat.
Yep.
Indeed.
Urgency. What else do you have?
Well, just kind of going towards the end, actually. There's, like I said, lots of great, gorgeous shots. There's a nice shot of Dollarhide. His last shot is a really captivating shot. But I'll let Scott talk about when Will says, "I'm Graham. I'm Will Graham." It's actually very significant.
Well, yeah, because he's going, like I was talking about, he's going through the house, and he's finally like actually gotten into the mind of the Tooth Fairy, and he says, I enter the door, I go up the stairs, and all of that, and at the end, it's over, it's finished, and he identifies himself as himself, like, I did all of this,
it's
but
significant.
I am still Will Graham. He's going to come out the other side of this in a healthier place than he did the last time.
He's not going to have to go in the hospital again. Yeah. He gets to go home to Miami. Miami, you've got style. If you know where that's from, you're one of the real ones.
No, all right.
They are false.
We're fake. How about
fake as fuck?
William Peterson when he goes full reverse Sally and jumps in from the window, jumps through the window but into the house at the end.
He definitely knows how to make an entrance.
Yep.
Yeah, I know he felt like it was the right choice of action. I don't know that it was.
It's a cool shot though. It's all
it
slow
is a cool shot. It's a cool shot. Yeah.
I mean, he finally, there's the killer. I'm gonna go get him, and I could shoot my gun into the right end to him through the window, but no. I'm gonna jump through the window.
Jump through. As the stuntman, I'm gonna cover my face to protect myself and let you know that I'm not actually William Peterson jumping through a window.
But well, I do like though how then Tom Noonan, Tooth Fairy, Red Dragon, Francis,
Dollarhide,
just grabs him with a shard of the glasses.
Oh, it's brutal.
And just like throws him into the fridge.
Because he's like,
boom, done.
Well, and he's full Red Dragon at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
he's
how he
all
just
the way
goes for the shotgun, and
he's like, now he's calculating and smooth in his movements and so deliberate and cold.
Yeah. Yep.
This dragon.
He's blowing all the cops away.
This movie buff got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Movie buff got it.
You're one of the real ones. Miami.
You have to tell us after the show what's going on.
It's from the Golden Girls. There's one where some of the girls, they're entering a contest to write a new theme song for Miami. And that's the song. And anytime people talk about Miami, producer Scott and I go, Miami, Miami, you've got style. Yeah.
Good old Golden Girls.
All right.
Wonder what would have happened if they ever met Red Dragon.
Oh, they would have handled him. There wouldn't have been, you know what? This movie would have been about 30 minutes long if he ran into my girls.
Freaking Blanche would have slept with
dated him.
Yeah.
B would have been like, oh, whatever.
And Rose would have made quippy comments, and so would Sophia, and then they would have just killed the motherfucker. I will say, as much as I love this movie and I do love it, is a little long. It's 2 hours long, which, you know, I'm not anti-long movies, but it's hard for me. It's hard for me, like attention span wise, and I really love it. I mean, I love a lot of movies that are long, but yeah, it is long. I was glad I had a nice comfy couch to lay on while I watched this.
This film is not too long.
Agreed.
And for this type of film, it needs to be at least an hour and 45
Well, there's nothing
minutes.
I would cut out of it. There's nothing I would cut besides maybe the music video. So, I mean, and that's not really going to shave off that much time. So there's nothing I wanted to lose from the movie. I just felt the time. I just felt the time.
You felt it. All right.
Felt it in my bones.
I had no issue. So, speaking of the music of the movie, so I thought it had, for the most part, it had some really strong, music, original songs, whatever played throughout, as well as instrumental stuff going on. You guys are going to laugh at me, of course, because that's what we do here at the Cold Show.
We laugh a lot.
There's a group called Shriekback that had 3 songs on the soundtrack.
Do they have better songs?
They do. Album? They have a better song called Nemesis, and they did not play in this film. But I was kind of like, damn.
Nemesis sounds like it would be a good title to have in this film.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, I was kind of like going, Shriekback. I'm like, why don't you play Nemesis? That's okay. But I do like there's a lot of great things. Maybe
they thought it was too on the nose.
Maybe. But now I'm assuming you must have loved the closing credits song.
Oh God.
It was called Listen to My Heartbeat.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the misses for me. Like I said, most of the music I was totally down. There was just a couple of misses. The love scene, and I think this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones were misses for old Aunt Sandy over here.
Yeah, it was like at the end, I was like, ooh, this is not a good 80s
You didn't like it either?
Song. No, it was not good. Not good.
I honestly, I don't remember.
Remember? Okay.
Like, you know.
It's basically like, listen to my heartbeat, baby, baby.
Oh, I love it.
Ooh.
Listen to that.
That's my kind of jam.
The lyrics, the lyricism.
I need to go grab that.
Listen to my heartbeat.
I'm going to run out to Sam Goody and get the tape.
It's from the perspective of the tiger.
Oh. Well, now I love it.
I wanted to cuddle with that tiger so bad.
I bet.
Well, Joan Collins?
Joan cuddled him? Joan Allen.
No.
Joan Plowright. Plowright. Is she still alive?
Probably not.
I heard that name in a long time.
Well, so that was just kind of my final thoughts. I kind of wrapped it up. What do you guys have anything left before we move on to a little game?
Yeah, I would just say this is a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. For something in 86, it holds up. I mean,
it beyond holds up.
Yeah, it feels dated, but
it feels. I wouldn't even say it feels dated. It feels like a piece of its time.
Yeah.
But in that way where it feels
totally
classically.
Works.
Yeah, classically of its time.
I like all the characters, even the ones you're not supposed to like. I mean, they just do a really good job.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of 80s imagery that is emulated. That is, in this movie because it was that time, and now you see it emulated in films now trying to make an 80s era picture.
Okay.
And so that is a good thing because this film is perfectly balanced in what it shows and what it does.
Very indicative of its period.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if I could find a pair of those short shorts that William Peterson has at the end and tan my legs like that,
we'd all be wearing those shorts.
Over it.
And those flowy tops.
Yep. I would do it. So, Scott, thank you for picking this film.
Good job, producer
good job.
Scott.
Seriously.
Way to go. Picked a good film. We have a game.
We have a game, people.
Would you like to play a game?
That hit me.
Oh, no. Are you dead?
I probably have a massive paper cut.
Are you dead?
I think I'm dead.
Okay. So the game, keeping in line with our Hannibal Lecter discussions, this game is called Cox or Hops.
I love the title.
Cox or Hops.
Cox or Hops.
All right. So we have 3 rounds, and we're going to go through who was in the film. We're going to go through some trivia, and then we're going to go through who said this line. So,
do you need like a little guard? I mean, I'm not going to cheat, but not to tempt us.
I'm not going to look.
I'll take the guard because I know Sandra's going to.
I don't like cheating at games. I'm not a cheater.
Sandra
I'm not a cheater.
Is shady.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what
you guys
we're
are
gonna do
jealous
is-
because I win hellish shit on this show.
Let's
be honest.
Hellish shit.
Let's be honest.
So I'm going to ask you guys the questions, and then you're just going to have to answer them, I guess. And then
Okay.
Okay.
I might ask one, or I might ask you both, or Scott.
Can I
who
phone a
knows?
friend?
So Macy will be your friend.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, so round one. Who was in this film?
Cox.
One of them. One of them was.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to start with Trick or Treat.
Cox.
Cox. For an extra point, what was his name?
Oh, it was. Well, he was. Can I at least tell you his character?
Sure.
He is the bus driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mean old man. His
Yeah,
name
and-
starts with a G.
No.
Oh shoot. Yeah, but that's who he was.
Okay. Mr. Krieg is his name.
Doesn't it start with a G?
Krieg?
Oh, it might be with a C.
Okay.
It's okay. Okay.
Wait, who?
Okay.
What are we talking about?
I got at least the sound. Because that's why I was like, isn't it a G? It's like a G.
Wait. G.
It's an E. I don't know. I think I got kind of close with my. What the fuck? I don't think it's that funny. I think I got pretty close with the sound, but okay.
Okay, 1 point for Sandra. All right.
I've never even seen that movie, so.
That's right. You haven't yet.
It's one of the best movies ever.
How about Deadwood? Deadwood.
That'd be a Cox.
That would be a
That would be a Cox. Very good. Anyone remember his name in that? Jack Langrish. Okay. How about The Remains of the Day?
That'd be
That'd be
Hops.
Hops.
Hopkins. That's a Hops. Very good.
That's a slow burn film, but it is brilliantly acted.
It is.
Never seen
And it's
it.
not like slow burn horror, which is a problem because I like slow burn.
Right. Okay. How about Dracula? Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That's
Hops.
Hops. Playing
Plays,
whom?
the Abraham.
Yes.
Van Helsing.
There you
Very
go.
good. Both of
You know who
get
I
a
wanted to
point.
say is I wanted to say Guillermo's ancestor.
You should have. I would have got it from that.
And when I see Van Helsing, I swear to the gods I will slay him.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember the words. Yeah,
From
forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah,
Beautiful, wonderful film.
yeah.
Okay. The Long Kiss Goodnight.
That would be a Cox.
Cox,
Yeah.
No one's going to remember his name from that, right?
No,
Okay.
jeez.
It's Nathan.
I'm not gonna lie. Character names are not my
I know.
forte.
I'm going to throw it. It's
Yeah.
No, if we, it's,
How about Argyle Wallace?
What the fuck
What?
would you just say?
what'd you say?
Argyle Wallace.
Argyle. Braveheart. That's Cox.
Very good. Very good.
Wait, hold on. Now you're switching to character
For
names.
that one, I was trying my Scottish accent.
Okay, I was gonna
No,
say
it was
this
because
isn't
you
fair.
said Wallace, and I was like, okay, you played William Wallace's
I think
uncle.
if I say Wallace, I might give it away.
It took me a minute, but you did change
I
up
got you
what
there.
you have been doing. So.
That wasn't fair. After we just said we're not good with character names, then you just threw in a character name. This is anarchy.
Wait, it starts with a G, right? Anarchy.
Manarchy. Michael Manarchy.
Meet Joe Black.
That was Hops.
Hops.
Yeah, that is.
He
Hops.
played the patriarch,
Okay.
who has to meet Joe Black,
How
unfortunately.
the Grinch Stole Christmas.
How did that Grinch steal Christmas? That's a
Oh
Cox.
no, that's Hops. He's a narrator.
Very good. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, I was hoping that Cox was running around as a Who in that movie.
yeah.
Could you imagine? He's just one of the freaking.
He played Cindy Lou Who.
Oh my god, no, he's not even a credited Who. He's just an uncredited Who.
he just owed Ron Howard a favor.
Yeah, you just blink and you'll miss him.
He played Hannibal who? Okay. How about Free Jack? Free Jack.
That's Cox.
That's Hops.
It's Crocs.
Hops.
Crocs. Final answer.
Crocs and Hops.
Hops.
It's Hops. It's Hops.
Hops.
Very good. Remember the
Free
name?
Jack.
I don't know.
He plays Mr.
I don't even remember
Jack.
that movie except that it's Emilio Estevez and
Yeah.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
McCandles, something like that. The Bounty. The Bounty.
That is Hops.
Hops.
I've not heard of that film. I
The
don't think I've
Bounty,
seen it.
based on Mutiny. On the
Mutiny.
Bounty.
I love Mutiny on the Bounty.
Do you remember the character's name? It's the famous guy.
The captain. Does he play the captain in
Yeah,
that?
Captain-
Something Hornblower.
Ooh, I don't know because I like my version is the Humphrey Bogart version.
Oh.
And he plays the same character.
Okay.
I take
Okay,
it.
so what's his name?
Yeah, it's the captain they mutiny against, but I don't remember his name.
It's Bly.
Oh, Captain Bligh. There you have it.
Bly.
All right.
The Elephant Man.
That's
Hops.
the hops.
Hops. Very good. Very good. Okay. Super Troopers. And give me
Cox.
the answer right now.
Yeah, I'm like, it's got to be
It's
Cox. I was like,
Cox.
I don't recall Hopkins in that film.
Captain O'Hagan.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Finally, we're going to go with Red, I think.
Dragon?
Red.
Cox.
Not Red Dragon, just Red.
Cops. You mean retire extremely dangerous?
Yes.
Cox.
Cox.
Yeah.
Okay. Cox. Very good. Okay.
It's like,
That
are
is
we
the end
supposed
of
to
round
fill in
one.
the blank?
The end of round one. It's a tie.
Oh, wait, we're not playing as a team
Perfect
against
tie.
you?
I'm just giving you guys points because it's fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, we
I'm
usually
assigning
play as a
points.
team against the...
Oh, you're playing
It's,
against me.
it's,
Okay.
it's like whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
the
We play against the
games are
board.
real and the points don't matter or whatever they say.
Whatever they
They say
say.
something like
Okay.
that.
All right, this is trivia. On either, it's going to be either Cox or Hops.
We're still Cox or hops.
Yep, still Cox and Hops. Okay.
Okay.
This gentleman was awarded the CBE, which is the Commander of the Order of the British Empire, in the 2003 Queen's New Year's Honors List for his service to drama.
Hops.
Yeah, I think that's Cox because I think Sir Anthony Hopkins is a knight, isn't he?
I said Hops. She said Cox.
Well, I mean,
One of you is right.
well, and honestly, I guess I'm
Well, tell us which one.
because I can see them
who's
both
right.
getting that honor. Because obviously, I mean, I'd be shocked if they both don't have it. Frankly,
Okay.
yeah,
So in 2003, the honor was given to Mr. Brian Cox.
nice, good for
There
you,
you
Bri.
go. So
Because yeah, isn't it Anthony Hopkins? Because that's like the level. Well, it's not the level, but like you can take.
I have no idea. I'm not
It's fine.
English.
okay, just so you know, Anthony Hopkins was also awarded that award, but like
Yeah.
years earlier,
Right, because that
So-
probably like the 80s or something. I'm guessing
because he leveled up from that.
he leveled up.
He does not watch or view his own work.
Oh, hops.
I think that's Hopkins. Yeah.
It's Cox.
Oh, I thought that Hopkins. Are we sure Hops doesn't? We don't know that for sure. It's
Okay,
just-
well,
yeah.
the research that I did,
All right.
it was Cox.
We're
who said
going
that.
with what Neil says.
It was Cox. So there you go. He was awarded the Laurence Olivier Theatre Award in 1989.
Oh, I'm gonna give that to the
Hopkins.
hops.
1989.
Hopkins.
For Best Actor in a Revival. By the way, there's more.
Oh.
In a revival for William Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus.
Oh, I think that's hops.
Well, he was in the movie Titus, so
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna go with Hops.
I'm gonna go with hops.
The answer is Cox.
Jesus.
Oh,
The answer is
everybody's in
Cox.
Titus.
Everybody's in Titus.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're not anybody till you've played Titus.
Okay, there's a lot of X's here.
Andronicus.
You guys are losing.
That's a
this
cool
one.
movie, by the way. Have you ever seen it?
Very cool.
Yeah.
And it's got got a lot of good people in it. Alan Cumming, a lot of good people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just like how the Roman soldiers are riding around on Harleys. That's cool.
It's pretty badass.
Okay, which of the two men appeared in a Marvel movie?
Let me think.
Marvel. Oh,
That would be Hops. Yeah, because
he played Odin.
plays. Yeah, he plays Odin. He plays Thor's dad. Thor's daddy.
Okay, final answer.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
one eye.
Trick question. They were both in a Marvel film. Which
Oh,
was
which
the
was
one that
Cox?
Cox was in? You're almost there. Starts with a.
He mu- Oh,
X.
oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes.
He was an X-Men.
He was
Okay,
in
well,
X-Men,
it's a
yeah.
little
Part two.
okay. It's a little misleading because there's
Yeah.
like a Sony thing. There's a whole thing.
No, it was
there.
a Fox.
It was, thank you. It was a Fox film.
Fox.
It's a Fox film, Fox and Cox. So that's how
Yeah.
it works.
Fox on Cox.
Okay, and then based his portrayal of Dr. Hannibal Lecter on Scottish serial killer Peter Manuel.
Based.
It's like a 50-50 shot.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think
Take
I've
your
ever
pick.
heard either of them reference it.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. Do you know that?
I think he.
Serial
I think
killer?
he was. Wasn't he a cannibal too?
I don't have that.
I did.
information.
I did recently learn about a Scottish cannibal.
Okay, I'm gonna say since I never brought it up in Manhunter, I'm gonna say it's Hops.
Gosh, I really don't know. Just for fun, I'll say Cox.
I'm just, yeah.
The answer is Cox.
Of course it is.
Cox.
It's okay. We got the point either way.
Portrayed 2 U.S. presidents, Richard Nixon and John Quincy Adams in Amistad.
That's the Cox, yeah?
No, Hops.
That's the Hops?
Yeah.
I never seen anything where he played president.
Yeah, saw both of those.
It is
It's
the hops. It is the hops.
It's got those mad hops.
Very good.
That
very
I'm 99% sure.
That's correct.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this.
All right. Very good, guys. Very good.
Thank you.
Chat, we hope you're playing along. However, because we're in a new environment, we actually can't see chat tonight.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
So we're sorry that that we can't, go, very good. Mark Vision's truth, you know everything. Okay, round 3. Who said this line? In a sense, I feel very much a part of cinema now in every way, from when I come back to a theater. Okay, I want to try that again.
Okay.
In a sense, I feel very much a part of the cinema now. In a way, when I come back to the theater, I feel like a visitor, as in the live theater. The cinema is really what I enjoy. I want to do more independent movies.
Hops.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Hops.
It's Cox.
Damn it. No point.
Okay, who said, I was lousy in school, real screwed up, a moron. I was antisocial and didn't bother with the other kids. A really bad student.
Hops.
I didn't have any brains. I didn't know what I was doing there. That's why I became an actor.
Hops.
Yeah.
Okay, Hops.
Yeah.
Very good. I wouldn't have known that. You guys knew that.
That's like some Inside the Actor studio-ish right there.
Okay. The heritage of a British actor revolves around the challenges of playing the classic roles to meet certain levels of success as an actor. In America, the heritage of an actor is based mainly on cinema.
I'm going to say Cox.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Cox on that one.
That is Cox.
Yeah. Leaning heavy, heavy Cox.
Hopkins seems a little more,
chill.
Yeah. Yeah, not as judgy.
He's a little judgy.
Okay. This is being said to on what his idea of a good night is. So he's responding to a question on what a good night would be.
Like, Mr. Describe your perfect night.
Exactly.
Okay.
Staying in and watching mob wives on TV. I don't have many friends. I'm very much a loner. As a child, I was very isolated, and I was never really close to anyone. Ask nothing, expect nothing. That's my creed. We're all just a bunch of sinners crashing around in the darkness.
Hops.
Oh my God.
Because I can't see either
one of them watching mob.
I want them to watch it together. Like, that's what I want.
I have no idea. Whatever Sandra says.
I want Hops.
It's Hops.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
He watches Mob Wives?
Isn't that adorable? I've never watched it, and I want to watch it with him and Cox.
Really?
Okay, last question. Last line. Beware the tyranny of the weak. They just suck you dry. They're always complaining. I go, how are you? They say, eh. And they moan and try and take from you. I know a number of people like that, but I can't waste my time on them.
Cox.
Hops!
Oh.
Whoa.
We had established Cox as the judgy one.
I know, right?
In our headcanon.
Holy shit.
They're both very Lecter-ish, if you ask me.
They're both basically Hannibal Lecter in real life.
Lecter.
Yeah.
They're both Lecter.
Fabulous.
That was Cox or Hops.
Hannibal Lecter would never watch Mob Wives.
He'd be in Mob Wives. He'd be a mob wife.
He'd be eating the mob wives.
I ate all those wives, he says. Well, fabulous. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight for Michael Mann's Manhunter. I just want to keep saying it.
Yeah, seriously.
Join us on the 26th for our next episode. We have a tradition here where we watch a family-friendly movie every time to celebrate Thanksgiving and the coming together of loved ones, of family and friends.
That's true. So what have we watched in the past?
In the past, we've watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Cannibal Holocaust, which is something that you just gather the little ones with, and you watch the Charlie Brown, and then you watch one of those films.
And you should do so while you're eating your food, by the way.
Yes, you eat during both of those films.
Yes. So what is on the menu for this upcoming Thanksgiving?
What could be more wholesome, more all-American, something to reflect on the difficult year that we've all had, than Solo.
Solo. Get ready.
Are we kidding? Are we serious? Wouldn't you like to know? You're gonna have to tune in and find out.
And for those of you who haven't seen this film,
Fuck around and find out.
Is most of you?
Find out. Yeah.
Then we're gonna be able to break it down for you.
Maybe. This is not an easy film to get a hold of.
Yeah.
So we have a line on it, but it's not in our hot little hands yet. So
we'll see what happens.
it might actually end up being Charlie Brown.
Films subject to change.
Some exclusions apply.
We'll get it. All right. Well, that's it. You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you.
So we're not going to see you before Thanksgiving, I guess, huh?
That's true.
No.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
It's a dumb holiday. Bye, everybody.
But be with your families if you can.
Be with your friends.
Love the ones you're with.
Be with your pets. Go for a walk outside.
But don't eat your pets, but be with your pets.
Don't eat anyone you know.
Don't eat strangers.
Yeah.
Like the Manchestersons or whatever.
Or anybody that comes to your door unannounced.
Those two. Especially the Mormons. Eat the Mormons.
Oh, yeah. Eat
The
the
Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, they have no souls anyway.
Anybody
So.
that runs an MLM, just
There you go.
eat those people.
Bye.
Bye one more time.